Akai Force. I got a sample right here. I'm going to chop it up. This is my first time on the Akai Force, man. I'm going to talk about the workflow and different things and why I made the decision to get rid of my launch pad, get rid of Machine Jam, and stick it out with the Akai Force. It's old, right? What's going on, guys? It's your brother O.T.G. The O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And today I got the Akai Force. You know, a lot of people looking like, man, why would you buy an old machine that's only got 2 gigs of RAM? And there's the Push 3. There's so many different options out there. Why would you do that, O.T.G? You can't be smart. You know, I talked to you guys a lot about choosing what's good for your workflow, and I told you a lot about Akai and the different models. You know, I love the MPC-1 on Machine. I love the Machine Micro MK2. I'm a minimalist kind of guy. You know, I rather just use one thing. If I got to use a thing, then I want to use one thing. You know, I've been using the Launchpad, Ableton Launchpad, and Ableton for over 15 years. I had the first edition Launchpad, both of them. So I'm super familiar with clip-based producing. You know, I got the Launchpad MK3. Even in my Ableton Masterclass, I show you guys that I'm one of the few people who makes beats with the Machine Jam standalone. So while I was looking at all the machine prices drop across different machines coming out, people getting frantic and leaving Akai, you know, I did a bunch of research, and what I found is the Akai Force is 100% standalone, doesn't work with the software. From my understanding, you know, you would have to track all your stuff in, and I would do that anyway. You know, you got to record stuff in to sample it. I installed a hard drive, and with the latest update, 3.2.5, I believe, I'm able to take my MPC projects from my Live and my One and bring them into the Force and be able to work with them in the arranger mode, clip mode, build on to them, and really do some things. So the Force really fits what I'm trying to do and is a great flagship device for my studio that has been powered by Ableton Live for years and the MPC, and now I have something that has both in it. You know, I work around limitations. You guys know how I am. Limitations create creativity. So wherever it's limited, we'll find a way. But so far with direct disc streaming and everything coming from the disc, streaming from the disc, it does really well with the plugins. You know, I got the plugins installed on here. I wanted to have readouts. I wanted to be able to arrange on the fly just like I do in Reason, just like I do with the one sequence, just like I do in Machine, just like I do in Ableton. You know, I like the step sequencer just how I like it in the SP404 MK2 or on my Verse Lab. So, you know, even with Machine Jam. So with that, the ability to be able to step sequence some things, play some things, you know, have the ability to have 64 pads to handle my chops. I don't really like keyboards, you know what I mean? I have a couple, but I don't really like them like that. So the ability to be able to stretch everything out on the pads, this is the best tool for the type of producer that I am. And you know, I found myself being guilty of making a couple mistakes in the past, and a lot of my mistakes, if I'm being honest, were trying to get it all done in the computer. So I've always been a hybrid hardware, software guy. So on the computer, we got Ableton Live 11 Suite, we got Reason 12, we got whatever program you want, Fruity Loops, all of that. I've been making music so long, man. I have everything installed on this computer and in the studio, from Pro Tools all the way down. We got preamps and all kinds of hardware in here. But my personal minimal setup that I've wanted, I just wanted a hardware setup that I could really go through and really make pound right out of the box, and so I've wanted to also have some equipment that I know could stand the test of time and build quality, and just the way that it works, functionality. I have 2 children that are coming up. They live in the studio, not literally, but we homeschool my daughters, who just went to the 2nd grade, by the way. We homeschool my daughter, and I have 2. And so when they're done with school, they come right into the studio. They come in, they print. They have an understanding of the family business, from studio, printing, and the things that their mother does, So from that, I want to leave them some equipment that they could utilize 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and really have a sound. So when I was looking at the Force, I'm looking at all of them going up for sale, which means that, we getting into a niche. It also means a lot of people didn't know what to do with it. There's not a lot of people in hip hop who have it. A lot of the tutorials were done over 2 years ago, and they're not O.T.G type tutorials where we made beats every day, and you guys know how I made beats. We could make 10 beats in an hour. So, getting them to be able to get to the pieces and the parts that actually make this thing work, and make these things sound great. You need to have some of that. And so this gives me the ability to have some of that, I'm only describing it because I think that these are some of the conversations people need to have with themselves when they're creating and when they are buying, So I've had the Launchpad MK3, like I said. I have 2 Launchpads. I've had Machine Jam, Machine MK3, Machine Micro MK1. I've got the Verse Lab. I've got the SP404 MK2. I got a Roland TRS-6S. I have an OP1. I have a Boss RC202 loop station. I have the Roland J6 T8 and the E4. Couple keyboards. But my main production gear has always been my MPC and now my SP. I record songs. I'm a songwriter. I also make music and compose for television. So, that's what the Verse Lab is for, completing full songs. The Force is now an option to also complete full songs, completely standalone. So with that, guys, welcome the Force to the channel. We still got the live, we still got the one. This is going to get us to be able to dig deeper into the plugins and the functionality of the standalone. So like right now, we're going to go into our program edit and we're going to pull that kick up. We're going to fix that kick. First thing we're going to do is turn the volume up on that kick. And then we're going to go to the drum effects. And go through, get that together, you know what I mean? Probably fix the tune on it. Add some soft clipping and then gain stage it. So we hit that drum effects. And all this stuff is on MPC as well. It's under program edit. I have a bunch of tutorials on that. I think one of the things that while people are having this whole conversation about sound this, sound that, I've been saying this since day one. It's up to you to fix your sound. What I do in these videos is show you the technical ability that these software and the hardware can do. But once it gets out of here for me, I'm going to run the sound through. People have always asked me from the beginning of me showing the MPC, why do I sample everything into the MPC? Why do I sample everything into the SP? Why don't I just transfer it this way? Why do I bring stuff in and just leave it plain and bounce it out a different way? And now because the sound conversation and converter conversation is a conversation, I think people are starting to understand, there's a certain methodology that just comes from production and it transfers no matter the tools. So no matter what I'm using, there's certain things that I'm always going to do. I'm always going to work with the volume, the pitch, the panning. I'm always going to work with the gain, gain, reverb, delay, compression, basic EQing. There's always those certain things that I'm always going to do. I'm always going to sample my samples. I'm always going to resample my samples. And then the stage that I'm just sketching ideas. That's what a lot of the videos that you guys see, those are just beat ideas. A lot of the music that I take, this is why I tell you guys that you are producers, because a lot of this music that I make, I might hand it off to my band, the co-pilots, and, it turns into different variations and versions of things. So, however you move your music and do whatever it is that you do with it, that's up to you as the producer. Whatever your vision is to push this thing forward, that's you as the producer. But, one of the things that we're going to get in depth with, now that I've completed my studio and the realm of what I'm going to show on this channel, we're going to start really digging into how to pull the sound out. So like with this, right now we're inside of the drum effects. You got to get familiar with your program edit and really get in there and start to play with some of those settings and get it the way that you want. Be able to do it on the machine that works the best for you. If it's a MPC X SE, I love the live, don't get it twisted. The stuff that I'm going to do on here, because it has an SD card, I'm able to pop it, save it on the SD card, work on it on the live now. This is why I dedicated the studio to Akai and Roland and Ableton, and everything else is just plugged in. We'll use Contact as plug-in. We'll just use our machine MK1. MK2, our micro is good enough. It's just a controller, but when we get into this, we want some meters that we could see and get a readout. I want to be able to control my ends. I want to be able to control my stuff that I do with my loop station. I want to be able to record stuff on the fly and have it inside of the MPC and chop it down. You get what I mean? So this machine is perfect for my setup, and I did a bunch of research on it. So, that's why I had the one for a very long time, and I stand by the one. The one is still right over here, is controlling a lot of the MIDI in the background, because I still believe the one is the most powerful MPC out of the generations of 16-pad MPCs. That's just my personal preference. I believe the Live 2 is the best MPC if you don't have anything. you don't have anything and you are getting started, or you made beats on the go, like you're a professional. Like for me, everything I do is music. If you go look at my Twitter, we're doing 1 million people a day talking about hip hop, not even talking about beats. Everything that I do is music related and has been for over 25 years of my life. You know what I mean? So when I'm on the go, I can pull my SP, I can take the Live 2 with me. So, you know, we're going to figure out this whole whiteout situation with the screen. I'll figure it out by the end of the year, man. I'm not stressing. I want to get my wiring in my studio correct. There's a lot of people got the video right, but can't show you or talk you through the when, what, where, and hows. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. It's a whole lot of content coming, man. Whole lot of content. We're going to get in depth with all these plugins on the MPC. We're going to get in depth with the sample edit. We're going to get in depth, and this masterclass is going to be a part of the MPC masterclass. So make sure you join that. All of them come together. And as we grow, we're just going to see how it goes, man. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. This is the Force. It's staying in the studio forever. And we're going to get it popping, guys. Inshallah, you found some value. If you're looking into a Force, it's your brother O.T.G.